And that's the way these laws have functioned from the very beginning. I mean, if you look at drug law in the UK, it tends to be very black and white. Something is legal or illegal. If it's legal, it can be sold in stores because it's legal. If it's illegal, it can't be sold anywhere. In the US, they've instead created this nebulous, far-reaching gray area where there's all sorts of things that are maybe illegal, kind of illegal, do it but don't get caught. And it's created an ability for the government to selectively prosecute people whenever they want, if they want. If you look at the DEA's list of controlled substances, it's not dangerous drugs that are controlled. It's enjoyable drugs. Something like Tetrodotoxin, the chemical in pufferfish, that's not a controlled substance. There's some regulations in terms of how much you can purchase, but it's not a controlled substance. Ciguatoxin, the most potent known neurotoxin, it's not a controlled substance. Lead isn't a controlled substance. Mercury isn't a controlled substance. Mercuric Chloride isn't a controlled substance. All of the deadly poisons, cyanide isn't a controlled substance. It's not about what's safe and what's dangerous. It's about what people like to use, what's enjoyable. And I think people don't even appreciate the extent to which all these drugs have been made illegal. Of course, everyone's aware cannabis is Schedule I, LSD, psilocybin, MDMA. But the list is long. It's hundreds and hundreds of chemicals. And a lot of these chemicals are chemicals with no supporters. No one's fighting for them. There's a substance called 2CN, one of Shulgin's creations. They just threw it in Schedule I. No one uses it. If you scour the internet, I'd be surprised if you could find 3 reports of people using 2CN. Totally unheard of. But they just throw it in Schedule I because why the hell not? No one's going to stand up for it. That's the end of 2CN. You have all these people fighting for the legality of cannabis and these other substances that are known to have therapeutic potential, but these other more obscure substances that are really only of concern to scientists who are very seriously disinclined to break the law for the sake of their research. Drug users don't care about breaking the law. Scientists are very unlikely because the whole purpose of science is to publish, and you can't publish if you committed a crime in the context of your research. So scientists are dramatically limited by the prohibition of these substances, and it's the obscure ones that end up actually making a big difference, not so much clinically, but in terms of actually understanding the mechanism of these substances, the structure-activity relationships, the neuropharmacology. And one thing that I am certain will help, and it's sort of tragic that this is the case, but it's capitalism. It's the corporatization of these drugs.
Yes.
Because with cannabis, you know, when it was hippies and the counterculture having, you know, marches down the streets of New York holding up 420 signs, it doesn't, I suppose, have all that much clout in the eyes of lawmakers. But when you have some guy from Yale Business School who's never smoked weed, who says, you know, this is a serious business opportunity.
Yeah.
We're going to make it big, and gets investors, invests millions and millions of dollars into it, hires lobbyists, plays the game like a capitalist, then the laws do change. And I wish that weren't the case, but it is. And it's tragic for the people that did fight and did go to prison and did sacrifice, that then these business school guys come along and reap all of the benefits, but that's the way it works.